Once, there was a boy named Ren, only 9 years old, whose entire world revolved around his mom. But then, something terrible happened. His mom fell very sick and didn't get better. Ren was crushed by this news. It felt like his whole world came crashing down. Ren's uncles took him in and became his new guardians, but he couldn't escape the memories of his dad who was never around. The pain became too much for Ren to bear. He made a tough decision. He couldn't stay with his uncles anymore, so he ran away. Life on the streets was tough for Ren. He had no money and no place to call home. However, amidst all the difficulties, Ren found a friend. It was a small white creature named Chico. They stuck together and sought shelter under a bridge whenever it rained. One evening, 2 strangers wearing cloaks approached Ren. One of them started asking about Ren's parents. Ren got annoyed and told him to leave.
Where's your mom, kid?
Go away.
Or your dad? Where's he?
Shut up.
Answer me!
To Ren's surprise, the stranger turned out to be a talking bear. The bear's companion convinced him to back off, and as they left, the bear invited Ren to join them. Ren followed them and entered a strange world with different creatures. He tried to hide, but was found by 3 wolf-like beasts who threatened him. Just as things seemed hopeless, a kind monk named Hayakushibo appeared and comforted Ren, and his friend Tatsura arrived. Kumatetsu declared Ren as his new student. They were in a place called Jutangai, a separate world where beasts lived. Kumatetsu was competing with another student, Lozan, to become the successor of the ruler of Jutangai. He watched 2 kids, Ichiroki and Jiromaru, who were Iozen's sons. Iozen worried that Ren's human nature might bring darkness. Kumatetsu disagreed, leading to a confrontation. Most spectators supported Iozen, but Ren started cheering for Kumatetsu. After Ren's decision to stay as Kumatetsu's student, the Lord assures Iozen that not all humans carry darkness within them. As everyone leaves, Ren reflects on his choice and remains determined to become as strong as Kumatetsu. However, their training encounters difficulties. Ren struggles to mimic Kumatetsu's moves, while Kumatetsu struggles to effectively teach him. Frustrated, Kumatetsu briefly leaves. During Kumatetsu's absence, Ren is cornered by Jiromaru and his friends who bully him, calling him a monster. Ichiroki steps in and defends Ren, dismissing the accusations. When Ren returns home, Kumatetsu also criticizes his weakness. Ren agrees, but points out that Kumatetsu, compared to Iozen, is also weak. Hayakushibo explains to Ren that Kumatetsu's harsh demeanor stems from his lonely upbringing, without parents or a mentor. Kumatetsu feels guilty for being a poor teacher how to improve. Tatsura advises Kumatetsu to recall his own childhood to emphasize with Ren.
Remember how you started out? Try thinking about yourself as a kid. It might help you understand him better.
One day, while playing with Chico, Ren hears his mother's voice in his mind, encouraging him to learn from Kumatetsu. Motivated by this, Ren starts imitating Kumatetsu's actions. Although initially bothered, Kumatetsu realizes that Ren is simply trying to learn, like a child imitating a parent. This warms Kumatetsu's heart, and he provides more demonstrations for Ren to mimic. They train together from now on. Ren becomes skilled in sword fighting and hand-to-hand combat, gaining respect from Jiromaru, who had previously bullied him. They develop a friendship. By the time Ren turns 17, his fighting abilities are impressive.
So how old are you now? That was quick. I guess you really grew up now, didn't you?
Kids tend to do that.
Witnessing Ren's progress, many creatures aspire to become Kumatetsu's students. Despite their improvements, Ren and Kumatetsu still argue, often leading to playful chases. During one chase, Ren accidentally stumbles upon a portal back to the human world. It is a sudden and overwhelming change. He finds himself in a bustling street and encounters a dark, engraved version of himself with a black hole in his chest. The image quickly disappears, but Ren is frightened by what he saw and tries to escape. Ren comes across Katie outside the library and asks her about his true identity. Is he a human, a beast, or a monster? Katie reassures him that feeling confused is natural and shares that she also experiences anger at times. As a gesture of support, she gives Ren her red bookmark, hoping it might help him in some way. Returning to the beast world, Ren learns about the upcoming duel between Iozen and Kumatetsu. Unexpectedly, Ichiroki starts attacking Ren, hurling insults driven by jealousy towards Kumatetsu's improvement. Ren notices the same hollow spot in Ichiroki's chest before he storms off. The anticipated fight takes place in the Colosseum. As the battle begins, Kumatetsu lunges at Iozen, who effortlessly sends him sprawling. The rule is simple: if you remain down for 10 seconds, you lose. Just as the count reaches its final moment, Ren yells at Kumatetsu, calling him a fool and urging him to stand. Inspired by Ren's words, Kumatetsu regains his strength, rises to his feet, and resumes the fight. With Ren cheering him on, Kumatetsu fights vigorously and intelligently against Iozan. He manages to knock Iozan's sword out of his hands. After a final punch from Kumatetsu, Iozan collapses and fails to rise after 10 seconds, making Kumatetsu the declared victor. The crowd erupts in cheers, but Kumatetsu shares a knowing look with Ren and they exchange a high five. However, Ichiro Hiko suddenly reveals a hidden power and guides Iozan's sword into Kumatetsu's back. Ren notices a terrifying dark void in Ichiro Hiko's chest. Ren's anger takes over, and he uses a similar power to make his sword fly at Ichiro Hiko. But Cade's red string cools his fury, causing his sword to drop before reaching its target. Enveloped in shadows, Ichiro Hiko vanishes, leaving Ren to pass out from the strain. When Ren regains consciousness, he finds Kumatetsu still unconscious. Iozan reveals that Ichiro Hiko is actually a human. Iozan found him as a baby in a human city and raised him. Despite being considered one of them, Ichiro Hiko couldn't hide the shame of being different as a human. Upon hearing this, Ren resolves to find Ichiro Hiko, while he returns to the human world. In the human world, Ren encounters Katie and gives her his copy of Moby Dick, just in case something happens to him. Unexpectedly, Ichiro Hiko appears, still carrying that haunting dark emptiness in his chest. A swift sword fight ensues as he chases after Ren and Katie. However, Ichiro Hiko summons massive shadowy arms and knocks Ren aside. Katie helps Ren back to his feet, and they flee. Ichiro Hiko picks up the discarded book, reads the word whale, and departs. Suddenly, people witness a massive whale-like shadow engulfing the ground, causing a wave of vehicle collisions. Sensing the danger, Katie takes hold of Ren's hand, and they retreat to the safety of a subway station. Ren realizes that he must confront Ichiro Hiko and his dark energy. His strategy involves using the emptiness in his own heart to absorb Ichiro Hiko's dark force, but there's a risk that it could cost him his life. In the realm of beasts, Kumatetsu, although injured, remains resolute about helping Ren. He declares his intention to ascend to godhood to assist Ren, fueled by his deep affection for him. Ren bravely faces the daunting shadow, preparing himself to absorb Ichiro Hiko's dark energy. Just as Ren is about to do so, a fiery sword appears between him and the shadow. The beasts have come to his aid. Hayakushibo reveals that the blazing sword is Kumatetsu, who has chosen to manifest as the spirit residing in Ren's heart. This revelation triggers memories of Kumatetsu's teachings about finding the inner sword. Overwhelmed with emotions, Ren breaks down in tears, hearing Kumatetsu's voice urging him to stop crying. So, what did you think about Ren's journey so far? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching!